Welcome. My name is Andy, and I am a minister for Trinity of Christ Church. And we're doing a Bible series on Proverbs, and we're doing Proverbs 11. I'm trying something new and different to see how it comes out. And as you can see, I have up here on the board the Bible that we're going to be reading. And it's the NIV, and it's, like I said, Proverbs 11. And we'll do it one line at a time and see how that goes. Okay, well, if you want to see all of the videos, you just go to trinityofchrist.org. And let us begin. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. I think that one pretty much speaks for itself. He wants us to be honest and true and not cheat people. And that finds favor with him. Verse 2, when pride comes, then comes disgrace. But with humility comes wisdom. Pride always comes before a fall. For we become blinded by our pride and we don't see things as they really are. It is wise to be humble, for then you could see everything. Also, as a note, wisdom cannot be achieved without humility, because God, he holds the Bible locked from the eyes of those who would misuse it. So humility is one of the ways of unlocking the Bible. 3, integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. If you have integrity, people see it and they know it. And you are raised up in their eyes if you have integrity. But the unfaithful destroys all credibility. 4, wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. This here is not such a worldly belief, but a spiritual belief. The wealth is worthless when you die. You can't take it with you. But you can take righteousness. And if you are righteous, you will be raised from the dead with Christ. The righteousness of the blameless makes their paths straight, but the wicked are brought down by their own wickedness. You know, if you live a righteous life and you try to live a true life, you know, you're walking from one point to the other. It's a nice straight line. But if you're wicked and you're trying to pull the wool over people's eyes, you're walking crooked path. And you got to remember how you walked it, because if you don't remember, you're going to get caught. Be blameless. Walk the straight path, and you don't have to remember what you said or did. The righteousness of the upright delivers them, but the unfaithful are trapped by their evil desires. You know, there's two forms of understanding in this. There's the physical, and then the spiritual. And oftentimes that is true about Scripture. Sometimes it's talking about both. The righteousness of the upright delivers them. By being righteous and upright, it keeps you out of trouble in this earth. But unfaithful are trapped by their desires. If you desire earthly things and you desire things of the world, more times than not, it's a trap. And you get trapped into it. Alcohol, drugs, desires of the flesh, they all lead you into trouble. They may be fun in the beginning, but they lead into trouble in the end. Now, the spiritual view of this, the righteousness of a person delivers them for eternity. But the unrighteous are trapped and are going to go into perdition for eternity. So not only can this help you in the world today by being upright and honest, but it can also save you for eternity. 7, hopes placed in mortals die with them. All the promise of their power comes to nothing. How often has Israel depended on other nations around them to save them when they should be calling upon their God? So we place our hopes in mortal man who deceive and cheat and lie and betray. And then we don't listen to the promise that God gives us. We must learn to listen to God and to trust in Him. And it's not easy, granted. 8, the righteous person is rescued from trouble, and it falls on the wicked instead. As you make evil plans and you do evil deeds, it always comes back upon you. You cannot escape it. You can lie to yourself and think you can escape it. But deep down, you're in real trouble. 9, with their mouths, the godless destroy their neighbors, but through knowledge and righteous escape. Have you ever had someone lie about you, trying to build themselves up and put you down? That's what they're talking about. With the mouths of the godless destroy their neighbors. Some people think that they can get ahead by making you look bad. But if you live a true and holy life, people know that and they know you. And it puts a lie to the godless. I know this one personally. I had someone try to get me fired at my job because I did a good job and he didn't want to do as much work. But my bosses knew me. And he ended up being fired himself because they knew his true actions. When the righteous prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy. We see this happening in Iran today. You know, the things that they teach is death and destruction. Death to Israel, death to America, death to this group, death to that group. If you don't think like us, death. And what happens to people like that? Well, no one likes to have them around because they'll turn on you in an instant and chant for your death. When righteous people prosper, everyone is happy. It brings up the city or the nation or the people around them. But when the wicked perish, people are glad. You finally got rid of this troublemaker that's been causing trouble. Be the righteous and prosper. 11. Through the blessing of the upright, a city is exalted, but by the mouth of the wicked, it is destroyed. Basically the same theory. Those who bless and those who try to build, that exalts them and the people around them and everyone together. But those who spread wickedness and evil and hatred and disgust, they'll be destroyed by their own words. Whoever derides their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. What good is it to deride your neighbor and put them down? You're better off being their friend and building them up and trying to help them. And if you can't do that, at least hold your tongue. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. Yeah, this is true, but I would say you have to have wise advisors, godly advisors. Whoever puts up security for a stranger will surely suffer. But whoever refuses to shake hands in a pledge is safe. How often today do we see someone co-sign a loan and get stuck with the loan? Surely you will suffer. And whoever refuses to shake hands in a pledge is safe. The advice here is don't pledge to someone you don't know. Don't pledge to someone who hasn't proved themselves worthy, or you stand to lose. Now, Jesus would say, if you want to help someone, help them, but be prepared to pay the cost. And don't be angry if they fail. It is your responsibility if you take on someone else's debt. 16. A kind-hearted woman gains honor, but ruthless men gain only wealth. I'm thinking about this one. A kind-hearted woman is the glory of her husband or a boyfriend. She builds up rather than tears down. But ruthless men gain only wealth. They're saying that by being ruthless, you may gain your wealth, but you don't gain anything else. You don't gain respect. You don't gain trust. You don't gain anything else in the world that is of value. 17. Those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin on themselves. Again, it boils down to kindness over cruelty. If you build up someone or you build up something, everyone benefits. But if you tear it down, if you are cruel to it, all you do is cause harm. And that doesn't gain you anything. 18. A wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. This one here is kind of both physical and spiritual. A wicked person can earn deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward in heaven. And on earth, you don't have to be deceptive to be successful. You don't have to be evil to get ahead. Those are lies that are told by Satan. 19. Truly the righteous attain life, but whoever pursues evil finds death. Again, both physical and spiritual. If you seek to live a righteous life, you'll live a long life because you'll stay out of trouble. But whoever pursues evil finds it. And that usually also brings death, both physical and spiritual. The Lord detests those whose hearts are perverse, but he delights in those whose ways are blameless. Speaks for itself. Be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Even if you think you get away with something in this world, you're not going to get away with it when you pass on. And the truth of the matter is, eventually, even the wicked in this world, the wickedness catches up to them and destroys them. Be like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. Wow. I love the wording. Like a gold ring in a pig's snout. It's true. Just because a woman may be beautiful doesn't mean she's beautiful on the inside. She could be a pig. She could be a embarrassment. She could be destructive and destroy those that she's around. I asked the women today, what are you? Are you solely pursuing beauty and destroying with your heart? Or are you building up? That is the woman's glory, is to build up the world. The desire of the righteous ends only in good, but the hope of the wicked only in wrath. One person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to property. Yeah, this one is true. Just because you're a good person does not mean you're going to be successful financially. Just because you give freely doesn't mean you're going to gain more. The world will do with us what the world will do. Wisdom is required to live our lives. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. I'm going to stop at that one too. Have you ever heard the saying, if you want a friend, be a friend? That's what this is saying. Be a generous person and you will prosper. Because if you help others, the people around you will help you. And you just pass that back and forth. People curse the one who hoards grain, but they pray God's blessing on the one who's willing to sell. Whoever seeks God good finds favor, but evil comes to one who searches for it. Those who trust in their riches will fail, but the righteous will thrive like a green leaf. Whoever brings ruin on their family will inherit only wind, and the fool will be the servant to the wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Wow, I'm not sure of that last one. If the righteous receive their due on earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Well, we know that people who are ungodly and sinners often do well here on earth, but it won't be that way in heaven. So the question to you is this: do you want to trade the 100 years or so you have on this earth for eternity? Or do you want to spend eternity in heaven and live with the suffering here for a short time? It's a thought that I think that you should consider in all choices when it comes to righteousness. Okay, well, God bless and thank you for joining me at this Bible study, and have a good day.